Okay, so today we have my Magicka Nightblade build. Before we start, this is what works for me. If you don't like a set, a skill, or anything at all, then feel free to change it to meet your needs. Basically, if you want more of another stat, then change the sets to build around your preferred stats. Now that that's out of the way, we're going to the character sheet. We have 37k mag, 18k health. This will go up in Cyrodiil by a lot. 12k stam. Stam's a little low. I might mess around and make the stam a bit higher at some point. If I do, I'll leave a comment about it. Magicka recovery 1.9k. I don't actually know if we need siphoning attacks. You play around with dropping it for phantasmal escape. That might be okay. It's basically like shuffle, but for Magblade, which is nice. Okay, so let's go into race. I'm a Khajiit. Don't play Khajiit. The recent nerfs to crit make playing Khajiit on a Magblade quite a bit less optimal. Still playable, but I'd recommend going Britain. Britain has more spell resistance, more cost reduction, and more recovery than Khajiit. And in Cyrodiil right now, the crit just... it's not worth it. In terms of mundus, I run the apprentice. Personally, I run the apprentice because we're already at 1.9k mag recovery. I don't really think we need more mag recovery, but if you feel like you need more mag recovery, just swap out one of the glyphs. Let's get into food. What food are we running? We're running Witch Mother's Potent Brew. The best one would probably be the gold version of this. I can't recall the name of it. In terms of potions, we are using Tri-Stat potions. They got a buff this patch. It used to be increases your health recovery by 40%. Same with Magicka and stamina recovery. They all used to be 20%, but they've all been buffed to 40%. So you're actually getting quite a bit of sustain out of Tri-Stat potions this patch. Poisons. I'm just running Crown Lethal poisons. I don't actually usually use poison, so I don't even know why I have them on. I usually just go for my spell damage glyph instead because it gives me another 348 on top of 2.6 unbuffed. So that tends to be quite useful. And now we'll go over gear. So we are running 2-piece Bloodspawn. I love Bloodspawn, just the alt gen paired with Soul Harvest. It's very good to keep up the Major Defile, and it's also very good to keep turning out that 20% damage boost that we get from Soul Harvest. So we're running Bloodspawn, and then front bar we're running New Moon Acolyte. I find the increased cost of your active abilities by 5% to be quite negligible, especially on Magblade paired with... well, if you find it hits you quite hard, you could run siphoning attacks, back bar, or front bar. We are also running Bright Throats. The traits are 1 Impin, 1 Infused. This should be either Well-Fitted, Sturdied, or Impin. Well-Fitted's actually quite good on Magicka classes this patch. You got a buff as well. Impin, Sturdy, Impin. So quite a bit of Sturdy. For Magblade, I wouldn't really go Sturdy if you're running Resto back bar. Maybe instead of Sturdy, I'd go 2 pieces Sturdy, 2 pieces Well-Fitted, 3 Impin. I have not transmuted my jewellery. I feel like I have enough damage without transmuting the jewellery. I kind of like the extra mag, but to be honest, at some point I'll probably change it all to Bloodthirsty. I'll keep the mag recovery on that necklace. Spell damage, I'll keep that. You want a Nirnhoned Inferno stuff. Like, you want it to be Nirnhoned. If you're on a Mag DK, charged, yeah, for the extra sustain, but for Magblade you don't need charge to proc burning, and to proc burning you're not getting the resource return that Mag DK is getting anyways, so there's no point even worrying about it. Okay, so let's get into the skills. Entropy, this should be morphed. It should be increasing our spell damage, but I haven't morphed it yet. We have Merciless Resolve. This is like the most important skill for Magblade. You can see focus your senses for 40 seconds, increasing your critical damage and healing by 2% with every light or heavy attack up to 5 times. So it stacks up to 10% critical damage and healing, which is very helpful. And then Once you've stacked 5 light or heavy attacks, you can fire a spectral arrow for half cost that deals 15k mag damage and heals for 50% of the damage dealt, if you are in melee range. So we pair that with Soul Harvest. Soul Harvest has to be in melee range, so Soul Harvest, then Spectral Bow proc, easy healing. Swallow Soul, this is our spammable. Heals you for 36% of the damage done every 2 seconds. It's not every time you hit it, it's every 2 seconds. For 10 seconds. So you do not have to spam this if you don't need to. But most of the time you will end up spamming this. Alley Drain, this is debuff. This is your debuff, reducing the physical and spell resistance by nearly 6k. It also applies minor Magicka Steel to the enemy for 23 seconds, which gives you 168 Magicka every 1 second when damaging them. That is nearly 350 mag recovery just keeping Alley Drain up. It's very important. Mass Hysteria, this is your stun. It can stun up to 6 players, so it's really good in 1vx. Soul Harvest, big amount of damage, increases your damage done against them by 20% for 6 seconds, which is why we use Soul Harvest and then Spectral Bow for the biggest damage combo. But it also inflicts Major Defile, which is really helpful. Shadow Image, this is kind of like your kiting ability, so I'll show you. You're down here, you're invis, kiting some kids, you drop down, show them where you are. And you're meant to teleport back up, but no, that thing's buggy this patch, it's weird. Anyways, keep going. Shadowy Disguise. Shadowy Disguise is our cloak. Cloaks you invisible for 3 seconds, and also your next direct damage attack used within 3 seconds will always apply a critical hit. This, plus Soul Harvest, means Soul Harvest is always going to crit. Harness Magicka. It's a damage absorb thing. You restore 206 Magicka. Each piece of light armor worn increases the Magicka. The restore's not the reason you use it. I actually really know why I'm using Harness Magicka anymore. You'll get more out of Dampen Magic. Rapid Regeneration. This is like our Vigor. Basically like a Vigor with an extra second. So you'll pop that, and then you'll go into Stealth. And that'll critically heal. And then you'll go into Stealth, and it'll critically heal. This is basically reducing damage from area attacks by 20%. That's very valuable, but it's also our snare removal. Activating this ability removes all snares. So you can either dodge roll to remove snares, which we don't have a lot of stamina. So I'm actually relying on this to remove my snares for me. And then we got Soul Tether. I use Soul Tether as kind of like a hard stun on players, get a little bit of health back, but it's not as good as it used to be. So you could use whatever else you want to use there. I would prefer Temporal Guard, but I haven't gotten Sigil Order on my Magblade yet. I only have it on my Mag DK, so that's kind of out of the question right now. Okay, so now we are going to go over offense. Offense is, it's not too bad on a Magblade. It's a little bit complicated at first. Basically what you're doing is kind of whittling away at them till you get your Spectral Blade. And then once you're ready with your Spectral Blade, make sure you have Alley Drain on them. Go Invis to get the crit with Soul Harvest. Weave into a Spectral Bow, and then just keep light attacking until they're dead. So, in terms of defensive skills, we have Shadow Image, Shadowy Disguise, Harness Magicka, Rapid Regeneration, Phantasmal Escape. This is kind of like our oh shit, get off me. We don't actually use this often. It's not really needed, because you can disengage from the fight with Invis on Magblade anyways. So, in terms of healing combos, it would be Shadow Image, just for all the buffs it gives. Obviously you want to keep Phantasmal Escape up, you want to try and keep your shield up as much as you can, and you want to wrap it. In terms of healing, like healing combos, they're not really combos, but like they're tricks a lot of us use. So we keep all our buffs up, we drop our shadow image because we can teleport back to it if players are kiting us. And what we'd do is we'd cast rapid regen, and we'd just sit in invis until we're back at full health. That should only take a couple seconds, which is kind of what I built this for, because Cyrodiil's unreliable with stealth and you can get pulled out of it at any time. So yeah, that's all there is to defense really. Rapid regen, if people are on you and you can't stealth, just keep casting Harness Magicka and rapid regen, and then as you get closer, further away from your shadow image, you teleport back to it, and they're over there chasing someone and you're going this way. They don't know where you are anymore. It's easy. Anyways, thanks for watching. If anybody has any suggestions for builds they want to see for other characters, or like videos in general, just let me know. I'm really looking for new ideas. Yeah, thank you guys. Peace.